Why? Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order of the Ruin as the United Kingdom. Not the only kingdom on this island right now, but that's a whole another discussion, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, last video, well, last video was, last video in the previous part, which is what I'm trying to say, sorry. I'm a little tired, a little winded. I did a lot of working out, and my body is, really making me feel it. I regret doing it right now, but that's alright. Anyway, sorry. Jesus Christ. This is embarrassing. Last video, it was revealed that our fucking security minister was actually the dude working to undermine us, which is really embarrassing. Let's keep it 100 here. This is not a good look for us at all. I'll be honest. But what are you gonna do? Other than fight for our fucking lives. And oh shit, they might actually have more troops. But our fronts don't look too indefensible as of now. Yeah. It's not too crazy right now. It's a little rough, but it's not horrible. Do I want to do anything anti-air-wise? Not right now. Actually, maybe, like, some stuff here. A quick little factory. And then... Okay, so I got some front lines figured out. And we're gonna do our best to make sure that we, And yet another it seems yet another domino has fallen in the collapse of the Reich's great empire. As Britain falls again into chaos, resistance cells have risen all across Britain, pledging loyalty to the exiled government, the promise of a free independent Britain, led by the boss, revealed as Sir Maxwell Knight, formerly head of MI5 and supposed personal assassin of Domville. The collaborative government, and on the other hand, appears divided, led by an interim government under Ronald Nalkane. The resistance does seem to have the initial advantage, with public support and momentum on their side. Both the German garrison and British army still pledge loyalty to the government. But will these resources be enough to keep Britannia chained to the Reich, or will Britain be free once more? Brothers fight brothers in this most uncivil war. The time had finally come. The boss had given the command, and they would follow. There had been numerous drills for this very day, but deep down, they were also still surprised that it had come. Today was the day that the British would start to fight back the fight to take back Britain. They would burn down the old order, and the new ones would replace it. And it would be one Emma and Elizabeth could live in without fear, as they did now. They stood next to each other, both wearing protective vests and holding rifles. They were due to roll to the local constabulary in a few short moments, seizing the air of Worcestershire? I don't know, it's the same place where the sauce is from, I think. And I don't know how you pronounce the sauce, so I don't know how to pronounce the place either. That fucking place. Anyway, for the resistance. And from there, well, it depended on where they were told to go, where to fight Nazi-loving bastards. It would be a long, bloody war, but the couple knew that they had to win at all costs. Nothing could stop them. Emma looked at Elizabeth, her Lizzie, and smiled. "So, how you feeling?" she asked. The other woman said nothing, only gazing off in distance. "Like I'm about to storm PC Jenkins' constabulary and kill anyone who tries to stop us." Emma grimaced. Yeah, I know. It'll be hard, but we have to." Elizabeth nodded forlornly. "I know. If we ever want to live, then this is what we have to do. And if She stopped, but Emma knew full well what she should have said. The specter of defeat and death loomed over them. Moments passed, and they shared a wordless conversation. Elizabeth kissed her lover softly on the cheek. Whatever happens, I'll follow you. I'll always be with you. Forever. Alright, troops, get moving! Old Bill yelled, waving his cane into the air. It's time for us to get this job done. God bless us all. And with that, Emma, Elizabeth, and all the other members of that cell of resistance would march out to the constabulary, ready to burn down the regime. And so it comes. So it looks like time is moving as well. Let's go ahead and plant some fake defenses here. We're doing our best right now to crush out these guys in Nottingham. They're probably going to push in here in Manchester. That's not horrible. The Transnistria War. The what? Fucking Transnistria is doing shit now. Are you kidding me? Yeah, you can tell I have really not had an opportunity to check out the new TNO content. Oh, fucking hell. Actually, I guess it's a good thing we got this bloke there. I should probably not be this fast right now. And then there goes the Ukrainian conflict. Okay, we got these guys crushed. Add these guys to the front line ASAP. And then what we ought to do, try to get an encirclement off here. England, filled with so much strife and confusion, has once again entered international news today. It was not news of a bombing or repression by the garrison, as has become normal, but one of art. Across streets of London, several spray paintings have been spotted. While first these pieces aroused little notice, but spray paint reached the paper when the artist's identity unknown managed to spray paint one of their pieces on the front doors of Parliament. Though thought-provoking and well-drawn, the art has lit popular imagination, and pictures of various pieces attribute the artist, known by the moniker Soft Boy, has spread across the world. Little is known of the artist, only that they are possibly connected to the British Socialist movement, but no one can really seem to stop talking about what the art really means. We must admit, they are very thought-provoking. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's a tribute to one of the TNO devs who passed away during the production of the game, which is a nice little tribute. Alright, we're gonna crush these guys. Norfolk. And okay, here we go. The bang echoed across the street for all to hear. Emma's hands shook, nearly dropping the gun. She could see the shock and fear written plainly on the soldier's face as he looked down and noticed a bloody hole now present in his chest. He fell to the floor, lifeless. I was targeted by them. Bunkers there. Sorry. He fell to the floor lifeless. Emma fought back the urge to vomit, fleeing the scene. They were ambushed while securing a village, and honest God, German troops were accompanying the local police. They had escaped mostly unscathed. But one had gotten too close to the base. She had no choice. So why was his expression in haunting her? Emma sat in the corner of the makeshift camp, staring blankly into the distance as others milled around past her, as if everything was totally normal in the world. Nothing about this was normal. Nothing at all. Em? A familiar voice next to her said. Her head snapped around, and she instantly recognized the love of her life. Oh, hello, Liz. Sorry, I didn't see you there. I heard yet. Elizabeth shook her head, sitting down next to her. You had your first kill today. How you feeling? Like I just killed a lad the same age as me and ran away. You would have done the same to one of us, love. It's awful that we have to do this, but you can't get yourself wrapped up your head like this. Emma nodded shakily. She began to sob gently, and Elizabeth cradled her as she did so. This was the first time either one had killed a man. It will not be their last. Campation. Challenge Pax Americana, perhaps? There we go. That is good. So we got one front done. We're actually doing okay here, it seems, even. Into the Cornwall Peninsula area. So what I think I'll do, I'll send these guys up here now, and we'll try to connect these two fronts while we can. The sky was gray as sin. Hawkins noted. He stood out of the base, expecting to hear the familiar thudding of wheels on hard earth any moment now. Part of him was still mentally occupied with how dire the situation seemed to be on the mainland. Apparently Resistance had been upping attacks as of late with a small force being sighted further south. Patrol had been sent to deal with them, but he had heard nothing yet. Hawkins' fears were assuaged, however, when he spotted a familiar armed truck trundling towards him in the distance. It came to a stop directly parallel to him, as what looked to be the entire patrol filed out and stood to attention. "At ease," he said, saluting them. "How went the mission, men?" He already knew the answer. Their faces were relaxed and their expressions light. He had faintly heard the sound of jaunty batter coming from within the truck before they had come out of it. It had gone well. Jenkins stepped forward. "You'll be happy to know it was a great success, sir. All three boats were sunk, and any of the blighters that made it to land were dealt with. No casualties on our side," he said, not without a satisfied smirk. Hawkins had half a mind to discipline them, but he couldn't. Everyone on the isle needed a win where they could get one. He nodded, grinning back lightly. "Golly good. Jolly good. You're all dismissed for the day, then. Good work." The troops cheered, making their way into the bases to presumably truck into their rations for the night. Once they were gone, he sighed. There was another day they held out. He dabbed his forehead with a handkerchief before looking out at the skyline. How many more perfect victories would they get? Safe. For now, at least. Kurt Michael. Do that. Plant fake evidence here. All right. I can move my tank. Here we go. Oop, overran one. Beautiful. It was ironic, Nal Kane felt, that the first time the cabinet could ever truly be described as being unified on an issue was during the time of division and civil conflict. But of course now was a time to expect the unexpected. However, one thing he was very much expecting was the briefings he was receiving while in the cabinet room regarding the nation's finances, which were as expected beyond saving. Butler, being the Chancellor of the Exchequer, was giving a full report on the absolute financial destruction the nation was facing. Attempting to collect taxes currently will be simply impossible in most cases. Massive price rises have been reported in nearly every industry, and strikes over pay raises have started in nearly every industry. If you think we should yield to these strikes, Butler, you may think on. With the claws of Bolshevism present in every trade union, we cannot afford to show weakness to those rats for even 1 second. This was Fontaine, who was making an uncharacteristically good point in Nal Kane's eyes. If you'd allow me to finish, Andrew, I would have agreed. Not simply because of the obvious communist influences behind these strikes, but also because we cannot afford to do so. Indeed, not only can we not afford to grant pay raises, pay cuts and freezes are an absolute necessity right now in order to balance out spending to some degree. I would suggest countermanding the effects it will have on the people by introducing price controls. We also need to introduce a system of rationing, for which I suggest modifying the old plans from the war. Fontaine struggled to think of something he would disagree with there and couldn't. Butler's plan surprisingly sounded just like common sense to him at this critical stage. He wasn't pleased that Butler's two cronies, Wilson and Maulding, also present in the room, were to be given charge of implementing this, but the actual plans seemed sound enough. Sworn enemies united by war. Oh my god. Okay, these guys are still getting up there. And when they get the chance, we'll send them up. You guys don't do that. You guys hold line here. They're doing their best, you know? They're trying. They're just, you know, they're just taking some knocks, but they get knocked down, but they'll get up again. Never gonna keep them down. The irony of using that song in this context when that group is, would definitely not be, favorable to this sort of, event is very ironic to me. Dude. Man, I got confused, I don't know. Unassigned units. Well, let's get you in with these blokes. Another unassigned unit. Oh, okay, well, you go with those guys up there. When all the parties involved in the swearing-in of Ronald Malkane's new government would look back on this day, sorry, got distracted by that. On this fateful day, they would all distinctly remember it through a veil. Everything felt muted, and Malkane himself remembered mumbling out the customary words, swearing to serve in his best capacity as Prime Minister. Of the United Kingdom. Sorry, I'm off it today. I don't even know if I should be recording right now. A lot of things going on, like over here, and then some other things off screen. Sorry. Rat Butler was shaking like a leaf. He had been one of the first at the scene of Domville's fiery grave. Andrew Fontaine kept a stony expression, staring at the distances of deep in thought when not being spoken to. When he had finished swearing in his oaths, he simply nodded. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm aware that I have arrived at a critical time of which to save Britain from Bolshevism. I am sure that we all strive to crush these upstarts forthwith. He nodded once again, and having made his somewhat lackluster speech, shuffled off to another room to be briefed. This left Butler and Fontaine alone in a room together. I also respect that. No major speeches, just getting straight to the point. Show weapon decisions. We'll need some more weapons, so we'll grab those. For a few moments, the two men were silent. Then Butler spoke up. How's it come to this? He asked. Fontaine was silent. Butler coughed, snapping him out to his reverie. Has it come to what? He asked, rather snappily. To the point where you and I are going to have to put aside our differences to keep the nation running. Fontaine scoffed. You aren't merely jumping ship to join your fellow democracy-loving traitors in the resistance? I'm surprised. Butler repressed fear to spit on the man. Well, yes, oddly enough, I detest radicals who will put our nation in danger as much as you. If we want Britain to come out of this with a modicum of stability, we cannot let petty ideology get in the way. Fontaine hummed and nodded. A unified front can only help. I'll do another national focus, and then we will do emergency police mobilization. In the wake of the massive threat, Against our government, our quickly loosening grip over cities and our lack of soldiers, we have another option but to push for police militarization, granting them guns and designating them as part of the military. Whilst this normally would not be considered, we are in dire straits, and quickly losing control of the few cities we possess. Our police officers are not trained in war, yet they must do their duty and protect whatever law and order in Britain. Protect law and order in Britain, sorry. Whatever the cost. Well, fair enough. So, hold Norwich. Jumps at midnight. Alright, so we're doing everything good. So, everything alright so far. Well, we're doing the best we can. There's only so much we can do right now, though. Especially since this episode is about to end. I'm going to leave it here, my friends. But thank you as always for watching. If you like this video, like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, hit the sub button for uploads weekdays as well as occasionally Saturdays. If you have any comments, feedback, and certainly leave a comment section below. I read all the comments you get. And I appreciate any feedback you might have for me. Check out my various links down in the description box below. And, yeah, that's it for now, gang. I thank you all for watching. My name has been Mr. Dogbot333, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye now.